Oh, guys, that's the stream starting noises.
That is. You guys enjoy the calming music?
No, you left the music running. I hate it.
I did not. I turned it off this time.
I'm teasing.
No! Impossible! Alright, everybody. Welcome to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in Signo. This is our epilogue session number 69. Last we left off, the gang fought valiantly and finally ended up victorious against Karsus.
Some of us fought valiantly, some of us fought to breathe, some of us fought and ran away.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We must fight to run away.
However, some people didn't just fight to run away, some people fought and then ran away.
That's what I said, mate.
I guess that's true. Anywho, so in this session it is going to be a little different than before because it is the epilogue. We're going to go over not a narrative story with everybody, but instead we're going to see where their stories end up. I have gone ahead and let everyone think of things on their own. So if they have something to say about where their character ends up, what their character is doing, they may do so. If they want, they can play off me, or if they don't want to, they can just tell me what they would like to do, and feasibly with the world in mind, I'm sure that they will make a story that fits well and is satisfying, at least to them. So, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. Does anyone volunteer to go first and talk about the way their story goes?
I'll volunteer if, since I have a pretty straight idea of what Fort would actually do.
Okay.
So, first things first, Fort will square away any business he's got in Miakasale before being able to depart to Seve, where he is going to basically spend a year to set up a temple to Bakab using Temple of the Gods, Mighty Fortress, and Teleportation Circle, so it's got easy access, and establish a church there to teach the tenets of Bakab, which is slightly amusing me because Fort is all gung-ho, but Bakab's tenets are actually complete neutrality. You need to have balance in all things. So Fort's a bit of a headstrong priest, but the teaching of Bakab is actually pretty reasonable, and going to focus on teaching common folk more or less defensive magic against elemental stuff, because I am relatively sure that this campaign setting is heading towards some more interplanar shenanigans. So Fort thinks that the citizens need to be prepared for the changes that are coming.
All right. And one of the main elements that you are able to defend against is the cold, as that area freezes over yearly, and so you find people to teach there.
No. Fort is going to attempt to teach everyone all sorts of magic, but, you know, some people are resistant.
Mm-hmm. They up north, they are more likely to be trying to focus on protecting themselves against the cold. However, there are many who learn, many who go to you, and your temple to Bakab thrives.
So that's actually the first step of the journey for that year. From that point, it would be to proceed establishing missions basically all around the world, because the Raven Queen had instructed Fort that he needs to go other places besides just this continent. And to that end, be springing up more temples as appropriate, wherever Bakab desires, more teleportation circles, and Furthermore, there is the question of, do the characters level up further or not? Because that will add further complexity.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So, in that case, yes. Traveling the world, establishing missions, and leaving other priests in charge of each individual one, with the primary one being in Seve. So, how do you say that one?
Let's see. It was Seville.
Okay. And
Alright.
Caddy is welcome to join on those because she said she was interested in learning, but she doesn't have to stick around the whole time.
Alright. Anything else for Fort's journey?
Possible, but I will need more to bounce off. That's just what I came up with solo.
Okay. And that is totally allowed if you wish to bounce off of other people's endings if they don't mind, then shoot. And I think a good transition, because she was mentioned, is into Kat's story.
Kat is gonna kindly take Ford up on the offer, as she's fulfilled her balance to the Ion Stone. But first she has a bone to pick. During the year where Fort is going to go establish his church, Kylan, really. Kat is finally feels capable of beginning her hunt. And especially with the latest level up, she finally feels like she has the power to face the hired hand that helped to burn down her home city where she first came from while she was still human. The only man who ever proved elusive enough to escape even her. One sickly name rolls off of her tongue. Roland.
That bastard.
So Kat will begin her hunt to find and avenge her hometown from the fires of within that began by Roland's hand. And then she'll join Fort after a year.
Successful or otherwise?
Successful or otherwise.
Okay. Roland proves to be elusive as ever. His not give a damn mentality seems to be hard to catch. Not the mentality, but because of...
Whatever you just said didn't come through, so I have no idea what you're laughing about.
Oh, it looks like my internet's been kind of crap for some reason. Roland is hard to catch and eludes.
Kat will upon her journeys and with Fort warm up to the teachings of Bacab and learn to accept herself as she is, and with the places that she is in life, not with the success of finding vengeance, and with accepting that she is the Ion Stone of Mastery, and not anything other than that, and being happy in who she is.
Nice. As we continue on, I would like to point out that Raz is missing. He is unavailable today, so he will not be giving his story, sadly. Alright, next up we have Lee.
Lee is basically going to disappear just off the face of everything. she's gonna stay with the Raven Queen, become basically a ghost, doing various Raven Queen. My level up got
You're cutting out quite a
invisibility
bit. Like, sorry.
and Hello.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
What was that? Sorry. Connection's bad, I think.
Yeah, Discord's acting up.
I still need you to fess up.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Alright.
Now I can hear you guys.
Alright,
Oh, hi.
sorry about that, guys. My connection died too, so... I missed everything you said.
Basically
Embraces her
just...
role as an enforcer of the Raven Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
Wholly, and stops being Lee as an entity.
Okay.
But I still need you to fess up.
the big secret?
Yes, that one.
Okay. So Lee is actually only a half-elf. She is a 34-year-old half-elf the entire time.
Wow, this whole time I thought you were an elf.
Yeah. So that whole trancing for 4 hours thing, that's the entire reason she had a thing for coffee, because that's not quite exactly what she wants.
Trying to be an elitist without the skills to back it up, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so pissed.
Yeah, I think we're ready for Thok then.
Okay, Doc, go ahead.
Woo!
Oh my. Okay. I will... burp. I will read it out for him.
He's pulling a cat at dinner time.
He is. I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that, because he's the one who took the most offense to that. Alright, go for it, Lee Jack.
I missed what you just said.
Just now, oh, he pulled a cat at dinner time, where Cat just dumped the epilogue, and Nate's intention was Cat to do it organically during the whole, 6-hour meal or whatever. And Joe was like, "That's weird. Hi, I'm Thok."
Ah. Okay, well, I will go ahead and reaffirm his mic / position, so he can't really speak into it. That's what's going on. Anyways, Doc is going to spend the next few weeks traveling to his estate, and will give it to the Templars as a center for peacekeeping. He's trying to spend as much time with Fola as possible, and bring her along journeys in service of the Raven Queen. He'll also help her understand her powers, and try to find out why she was chosen. He will assist Caluman's oldness, and carry him to whatever location he wishes. He'll frequently visit his friends along the way, and try to instill the feeling of honor in the actions of others through his own example. He probably won't do it so well in some cases. When it comes to the Templars, he will attempt to quickly quell any unwarranted oppression on either side. He will also wish to serve as an advisor slash consultant to any Templars who inquire what the right thing is. He'll also try to find that shepherd and thank him for being a voice of understanding and comfort during the difficult times in his life. The Templars do take their place at the manor, or estate, as it is, where they will become a more unbiased, at least try to be unbiased and fair, peacekeeping society. Though when there is one force that is deciding what the peace should be, they tend to choose and follow their own regime type thing. Anyways, they do keep peace in the areas where they have influence. Evola is glad to accept. However, her powers are unique, and while they do grow, the reason why she is chosen is still a mystery. Maybe one day we'll delve into that, but we'll see. Calamance wishes to remain in Chrysos, where he helps advise them and helps build a civilization there, which slowly develops into a kingdom. But before that happens, he passes. He does not last more than a few years after the events of the Templar Wars. As for your friends, Kylan, I believe, remains in Chrysos for what I know. We can actually go back to her. But for now, if you can find them, they'll, I'm sure, you do have Kylan's stuff. Cool, perfect. We'll go back to you after this then. When you find your friends, I'm sure they will greet you with hospitality. I don't think they hate you. They might, who knows. As for the Templar oppressions, there's not too much in the way of people against them, as they do serve as just trying to keep fear away and helping people where they can. They kind of become a Peace Corps as well as a force of peace when required. The shepherd is not found. Also. Alright. If you think of anything else, go ahead and type it out for us, and I will read it out and answer anything. And I think we can move on to Kylan.
So over the course of the campaign, Kylan went from a druid of one lost daughter to a druid of 3 lost daughters. And she will spend her days, advising Chrysos as best she can and protecting against threats and being just a guiding spirit to them, as well as making a yearly travel to her original tribe in their celebrations and helping them with their yearly maintenance of the Druid Grove. And when her friends visit and she comes to find that not only did they not find Ellie in the Shadowfell, but also that Lee has not come back, she will begin to look for her 3 lost daughters. Firstly, she'll be in the material plane, and she will attempt to find Cave, her lost bird daughter. And she'll spend spare time that she has at first looking to find Cave, and after either giving up on that for lack of success or finding Cave, she will move on then to study to find where Ellie is, and if she can have any way to bring her back into the material plane and give her another chance at the life that Kylan threw her so chaotically into by leaving. And then, lastly, she will travel to the Raven Queen herself and plea for Lee's soul to be relinquished as her final, not so acceptingly adopted daughter.
Okay. So to go in order, you do find Cave. Cave has made a small nest for herself, and by small I mean small maybe for a rock, but it's ginormous. And there she has created her own little family, and well, she knows you, sort of. She's not very hospitable without magical influence.
And Kylan will not provide magical influence.
Okay. While Cave does not openly attack, she also does not allow Kylan to approach. As for Ellie's soul, from what you can find in your searching, has passed through the Shadowfell to her final resting place, where she resides content. Excuse me. As for Lee, while a journey it is to go to the Raven Queen, Kylan is capable and is successful, and helps. I'm sure if she asked Thok how to get there, Thok could provide answers, or Jack even, wherever he's doing, and make her way there. The Raven Queen will accept an audience, but refuses to give up Lee. Claiming that she is too powerful of an asset, and that there is nothing left for Kylan to give that would change her mind.
Kylan offers herself.
As a trade, it is not enough.
So the Kylan treks back to Chrysos in whatever way she can, and starts a war against the Raven Queen.
Oh goodness.
I don't think that'll end well with Kylan, because the Raven Queen's strongest enforcer can be anyone at any time and be gone at any point.
Yeah.
Suddenly Lee appears.
I'm just messing around.
Okay.
Kylan is thoroughly upset and will do whatever things she can around the land to try to locate Lee and try to locate any magical source she can to bring Lee back against the Raven Queen's will. And I don't need closure on that. I don't need like a solution. That's just what she'll spend her days doing.
Okay.
Always chasing rumors.
Yeah.
And most of the, like, even in game, like, anything that might be close to what you'd be looking for is going to require a willing target, and Lee is not going to be a willing target. But feel free to chase to your heart's content. Because you don't know that she's not willing, and that's why it's not working.
Does Lee keep any of her material objects? That's a good question actually to ask.
She probably still has the amulet.
So then, like every time you come into the material plane as an agent of the Raven Queen, she probably feels a strong burning from that, and maybe even occasionally detects that somebody's trying to scry her.
That'll be fixed at some point, but yeah, she'll still hold on to it.
Lee is cloaked by more than just her magics and is very difficult to detect. Probably for even most gods. Alright. Does anyone else have anything to add to their stories now that everyone has come out and spoken?
No, I don't think so. I do feel like pointing out that any students that get trained by Fort's schools are significantly less militant-minded than the Mia Casail mages had been trained to be, because in Fort's eyes, the mages of Mia Casail had actually gone against the trainings of Macabre, and so any new land-based mages will actually receive proper education.
It's funny you
The
say
land
that.
mages versus the wind mages. Everything was fine until the fire mages attacked.
You're actually very correct. The reason why the Temple of Macabre was failing and becoming so forgotten was because the teachings were so opposed. Well, not opposed, but opposing. So a lot of people, they turned their back to Macabre to follow Ophandrus instead. Not as a god, but as a leader.
Yep. So the new school are going to be all about proper balance and not, rising above and treating everyone else like garbage. With a mind for defense, of course.
Of course.
As far as Fartrailer is concerned, he is going to prepare the core via alchemical training to battle both Magus and Templar, should there ever be a need to do that in the future. And he himself will still act as an envoy to outside lands and peoples as necessary, but always mindful about the preservation of his people's well-being above all else. So, if there is ever another mages oppressing the people or Templars oppressing the people, you can be sure there will be a core strike force to put an end to that very rapidly.
With great backup from Chrysos.
But given the way this campaign setting's headed, I don't think that's actually going to be an issue. I think the ripping boundaries between the planes are going to be the bigger issue. What do you say? What do you say? Is that where the campaign setting's headed?
Sorry, towards what?
Because of the tax between the worlds that the Templar War brought, the mages of Mia Casail were actually summoning so frequently that the boundaries between the planes were weakening to the point that tears were actually starting to form. As this campaign setting was this campaign was closing, Fort knows about it, and that's why he's preparing people for basically life with elementals as a norm, rather than, currently, oh no, they're just from some other place. Now they're about to be right outside the door, so...
It's probably accurate.
Which doesn't necessarily mean, they're going to be hostile invaders. They're just going to be the norm.
Alright, so, I won't say anything about that matter. There is
that's for a different timeline.
That's right. As for something that pertains to Kylan, however, There comes a point in all your watching that eventually you do catch wind of Lee. However, she has made a mistake and is caught and then promptly killed by an agent against the Raven Queen.
Does Kylan know from which opposition that is?
It was rolling.
Ambiguous.
Who is rolling?
It was always rolling. No, it was a faceless being and formless. The scrying was only enough to see Lee and her fate.
It was still rolling.
The true bad guy. Dun dun dun!
There he is. Get him.
Oh!
Then actually I have an adding to it then. Seeing her first of her 3 lost daughters. Ooh, she has a tragic ending. The first of her 3 lost daughters dies in a battle with the Magos. The second of which Lee dies to one of the agents. And when Cave dies one day, Kylan will just fade into nature herself. The druid with 3 lost daughters all dead, with nothing left to push for life.
Is she gonna sing herself into a tree?
I mean, yeah, sure, but let's do it. She knows that's a familiar end.
I have a perfect song. We'll play in the background here. Let's see if it actually plays. I don't know. Press F to pay respects. I knew one day I'd get this song in.
It's actually pretty quiet, and I even have the volume turned all the way up.
It's a very quiet song. Alright. As Kylan X.
By the time that Kylan is ready to die, pretty much everybody else is dead too.
It's possible. Well, you can take your own life. Well, in her case, not take her own life, but she can become part of nature at any point.
Her, sure, but the lifeline of a rock is not short. And the rest of us are playing not especially robust races.
Well, she wasn't doing it after Cave dies or anything. Just the other time.
That's what I said.
Oh, after all 3 died?
What?
Never mind.
Yeah,
I
after she's lost
that.
all 3 daughters.
Oh,
Yeah, with that, like I said, by the time that Kylan fades, everybody else is pretty much dead.
Yep, that's probably very true.
Seeing the kingdom, rise over time, and as her pivotal point to Crisis is no longer so pivotal, and she just doesn't have much left after all 3 daughters are lost.
She does get to see Crisis become the Golden City, however.
Uh-oh. That's a different campaign setting.
That is. That's a ways in the future, however. At that point, everybody here is dead. Except for Lee, who is kind of immortal.
Oh,
And yeah. Well, okay, yeah. That she 100% faked her death
well, duh.
is what we talked about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have said it that way. Doc, then. Wow. My brain is such a wonderful thing. Anyways.
Everybody should cherish it.
Yes. Alright, everybody. Is there anything else you wish to add?
As far as characterization, I feel like it's okay to conclude that. However, there were some lingering questions that I think people had to ask about other characters in story without needing it to be revealed in game so much as just, talk around the table.
I want to know about like what in the world Fort is going on with Fort. Like, I think you told me a little bit, but what happened?
Okay, so I will kick it off if we're done with the characterization that we've checked. Okay, so Fort was born a half-elf, and he was raised in Miakasale over the past few decades. He's not that old. It's actually about as old as Lee, I think. How old did you say Lee was?
34.
Yeah, Fort's only 39. So he's been raised strictly to be a combatant against the Templars and the Templar War previously. But as he was out on missions, he was actually a field mage, specifically intended to recruit forces to join the war, like angels and elementals and stuff. His company got ambushed by gnolls in the plains, which was amusing to me because that was canon. The gnolls are actually increasing in the plains recently due to increased demonic influence and stuff. So I was amused by that. At one point, though, he had to resort to using Magic Jar and storing his life essence in a gem because it was for sure going to wipe out the entire company if he didn't do something. So by magic jarring himself into his gemstone, he then used the spirit ability of the magic jar to possess a flint, and later absconded with the flint itself to make the ritual more permanent. And so he is actually a half-elf, which is why Mom and Pop were introduced at that dinner, and there were pictures of a young half-elf.
And so your original body is dead?
Yep, Fort's original body is absolutely dead. Like I said at the dinner, probably eaten by those same gnolls.
Okay.
Is that a satisfactory description of why Fort is a Flind?
Yeah. I'm satisfied.
So, all the rest of his personality is still intact. His body's just not the one he grew up with. It belonged to somebody else, but it's his now. He stole it. Is it grand theft body?
Yeah.
No wonder Fort and Cat get along so well.
Cat's not originally a body either. She's a rock. And I don't mean a cave.
Goodness gracious.
Cat's a body snatcher too.
Anyone else have any questions for me or other players or anything about the world I can answer?
I guess, do you want to tell us a little bit about what happened with the Ject deals? Like,
I do want to hear more about the Jekt stuff, but he's not here to ask him directly, so let's ask you. Can you tell us more about Jekt as a character and his arcs?
So you want me to go into each deal, like what he did?
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. I just want to know what deals he made.
Was the first deal for the favor for a necklace, the necklace of heroism. Then the devil returned with the knife to kill Thought, Bola, or
Duncan.
Duncan. Wow, I spaced the name. Thank you. Which he used to kill Duncan. And the next deal, you guys needed to get into Mikasel, and it was this huge, like, how do we do this type of thing. He made a deal to teleport into the devil's that hut, or that's where like he could go into Mikasel from. And he traded 2 of the elemental prince orbs, fire and the water.
And we're not going to talk about this campaign setting get more elemental influence at all. It has nothing to do with the devils acquiring 2 of the elemental princes. Nothing at all.
Oh no.
I think those were the only ones he made.
I don't remember others.
Yeah, I believe this is the last one he made.
Those are the only ones I recall.
I feel like there's a lot going on with Jack's bloodline that we never actually got to see, like, fully through.
He comes for an interesting line, for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's about all there is to it at this point for you guys. Because who knows? Perhaps something like from it will come up. You know, his grandmother is fused with part of Ishton, or at least an aspect of.
And she is for sure his grandmother.
Yes. Agatha / Aurora.
How's Atticus taking that?
Atticus?
I mean, he's here again. So.
He came to dinner, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true. I totally forgot the fact that they could get together again. Yeah, they would reunite. And with her somewhat reformed mind.
And so Atticus' tattoos faded, so does he have his power back? Is that a thing? So with Atticus having his power back and her mind reformed, is she willing to finally leave her cave? Her little woman hut?
Yes.
Or is she still paired? Oh, okay. So Chrysos has some real heavy hitters available then.
They do not stay in Chrysos.
Is that available?
Fair. But yes, they will, they journey off together. Him feeling very rejuvenated, even though 50 years have passed and he is older. But he's doing well. And then her body never aging from the point that it was at. They go and live their life in secret for the most part. It's like having a trophy. I don't know if did you guys ever see this? Yeah, he did. This is Atticus's actual younger self.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I may have used that artwork for a character in a long past campaign, so some of you may recognize him.
Can you blow up Lee's image again? Because I never really got a good look at it.
Can you blow up Lee's lineage? Drow deserve it.
It's all edgy and stuff.
It is.
I mean, it's a warlock, so that's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
And a drow.
Half drow, as we've all recently discovered.
Yeah.
The whole time. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good point. Remember that ambush where Fort was like, "What's going on with these elves?" The whole reason he knew that things were weird with the elves is because he's a half elf. Mom never did that. That's really weird. So that one ambush that was semi-subverted because elvish senses kicked in and went, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?"
Right.
That was a fun ambush.
I was amused that just being a half-elf played a part in that, because, yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't know. Joe, do you have any questions?
No.
No questions from Joe.
All right. Well, if that's all, I think we can, I'd say, satisfyingly wrap up this campaign.
I'm satisfied with our episode 16.
No objections. Satisfactory on both sides.
All right, everybody. It's been really fun. This campaign has been one of the few that I've seen to fruition, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I did. There were times that it was slower, yes, but there were also times where it was the reason why I got up in the morning, kind of thing. So, though it was so late at night.
Before you conclude the whole stream, perhaps,
Mhm.
since we're having an actual stream, maybe talk about your timeline in the near future, because I know availability is not that great.
Right.
That is-
So,
Plan on streaming the next set, or let's just talk about the show. How's the show doing for the next few? Just set everybody up.
all right. So, as of right now, we're not going to start a new campaign or have another session until, pull up my handy dandy calendar here, somewhere in the lines of the 25th or 28th of October. I'll be away for a while, and so I won't have time to start, and between me leaving and now is not enough time to get ready for another one. So there will be a gap where there will be no streaming of D&D. It's heartbreaking for me too.
That gives us time to figure out, like, who's going to lead and where it's going to.
That's right. And we may not have me DM. We'll see. We'll see if anyone is interested. If not, I will. And I'm always willing. I feel like I'm kind of like the DM of my group type thing. I don't know if anyone else agrees or not with that, but
Yeah, DM for life seems like.
I do like playing. But I always go, man, I wish I could DM after like 2 or 3 sessions of playing. So, yeah, we'll see where this goes. I will probably end up DMing. That's fine. If not, then there's other things. If people wish to do a one shot or something while I'm away, I will definitely help promote that or whatever. Or you guys can just play whatever. You don't have to stream necessarily. Though I'm sure there are people out there in this world that might enjoy watching it. So, yeah, don't expect another D&D stream until the late October. I'm actually looking at this weekend, maybe streaming some games that aren't D&D.
Yes.
You boys have been busy with some multiplayer, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been playing some multiplayer some nights, and then I was thinking of playing, I don't remember what it's called right now, but it's Hell's Blade or something like that. which is a single player game, so it depends on whether or not I have guys to play with or other people to play with for a multiplayer game, or if I'm by myself, I might just stream that. It might be some fun times ahead. Looking at this weekend, it's my last free weekend for a while, so we'll see.
For life.
Forever. Yeah. So, any other comments, concerns, questions?
I am concluded.
I'm concluded.
All done.
All right. And here, Finn. Yes. And for the last time of this campaign, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. And as always, stay classy.
Bye.
Bye.